You are looking fabulous.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. I carry a light with me wherever I go, do you see?
Oh, okay. I see now. I got to carry one of those.
I'm telling you.
Make my hair look as beautiful as yours.
You don't need nothing. You're looking great.
Thank you,
Congratulations. You are on fire. Pitbull's greatest hits featuring the new single Jungle is out now. You guys, you're so busy. You just had an album, Global Warming, and now you've got greatest hits. Would you sleep?
Well, no, sleep is for the dead. That's for sure. Yeah. That's for sure. But very blessed, Jenny. Thank God, just working hard. And actually, we've had a couple more albums after Global Warming. We've had Global Warming, Globalization, Climate Change. It's funny because I sound like Al Gore right now. But and now it's the greatest hits. So thank God.
What are your songs mainly having to do with like partying?
Yes.
Which I love, by the way. We were just reminiscing. We played all your songs for the past 2 hours.
Thank you.
It was reminding me of, being in Las Vegas, having the greatest time. They're very uplifting party songs.
Well, the songs are basically for people to escape, have fun, and be believe it or not, like a sense of therapy. So I want you to be able to go out, forget what you did, but remember in the morning that you love that you did it.
Yeah, except for sometimes when you wake up next to the person that you can't believe you brought home.
Oh, man. But you know what? At least you learn from that situation not to do it again.
That's so true. Now you're around, if I was you,
well, at least
and
with
I
that
lived your
person.
life, I can't even imagine, Armando, like my life would be, because I love to have fun and party, I think I'd probably be in rehab at this point because of the great locations you get to go, the parties that you get to go to. How do you stay focused, clean, sober, and not in everyone's pants?
No,
Okay, minus the last part.
Yeah.
Everything else is the question.
You know, for me, to be honest with you, very blessed to have an amazing team, very blessed to be able to travel the world, but more than anything, through everything I grew up around, it created a lot of discipline around a lot of situations, I would say. So don't get me wrong, I have a lot of fun. I enjoy, mostly in international waters, so I can get away with anything. Yeah.
I'm sure you've been to Ibiza, right?
Ibiza, yeah, we've been to Ibiza. Ibiza's cool.
Tell me, because
Ibiza, you can get in a lot of trouble.
Right?
Yeah, Ibiza, you can get in a lot of trouble.
Can you describe it for people now? The people that are listening are sitting in their cubicles. They're driving in their cars. They're never going to be able to go to Ibiza. I've never been there, but I heard stories. Describe what we're missing.
I hope they get down to Ibiza's or over to Ibiza's, I would say.
Is it the best place to go party?
Nah, that's definitely. I mean, Ibiza's a great place to party, but I mean, being a Miami boy, it's hard to. It's hard to outdo Miami.
That's true.
And the only thing is there's a lot of things in Ibiza that are legal that are not legal in Miami. I mean, it's kind of like Las Vegas if you look at it that way, but you also got to have discipline. And
That's
if not,
true.
you know, you can end up in, God knows, especially now with social media, boy, you end up in the wrong room, wrong bed. You get videotaped or I don't know. What's
That's
all
right.
I don't know what the platforms
That'll keep
are
you
now.
straight. It's social
Twitter,
media.
chitter, chatter, flatter, it's always a new one. You know what I mean?
You can get busted easily. I'm talking to Pitbull. He's talking to his greatest hits featuring new single Jungle is out now. Jungle. You have talked about Luke Campbell from Two Crew.
Of course.
What kind of impact did he have on you?
Oh man, Uncle Luke to me is one of the most pivotal and most important people in my career because he comes from an independent state of mind. He's a fighter, and he's somebody that not only fought the music business, he fought the government and went to the Supreme Court and won for the First Amendment. So he's the reason that a lot of us can say what we want to say on records. It's due to Luther Campbell.
True that.
And him coming through Two Live Crew and everything he created, he was a part of the Hurricanes dynasty. He was a part of everything that went down in Miami. Anything that moved in Miami had to do with Luke. Luke is the king of Miami, bottom line. So I looked at it, if I learn from the king of Miami, then maybe I can become something in Miami.
I mean, I think you did a pretty good job.
Well, he was a good teacher.
Will you say that your career has been a constant fight? What do you mean? Give us some examples.
A constant fight because people didn't, for one, believe in what we got going on. For two, I didn't look the part. Okay. For three, anytime it's always like, oh, is he a Latin rapper? Does Latin this, Latin that? And I'm like, nah. I mean, do you say that Denzel Washington is a great black actor? No, he's a great actor. Bottom line.
Right.
You know what I mean? So where people try to categorize, what they do is they try to put you in a box. But I want to thank all of them because they constantly taught me on how to think out the box and find new ways to create new opportunities. So the fight through the music business has been that. I learned from Luke. That wasn't a fight. That was more of a university. I learned from Diaz Brothers. I learned from Little John. And then I got into this situation called TVT Records. TVT Records, I was at about for 4 or 5 years. And not only did we learn from them, we took them to court, won in court. They went bankrupt. I got my freedom back. And that's where 2009, basically where the career started. I've been in the game for 17 years, but 09 is where everybody felt that boom, which is, I mentioned my goals always publicly, and 09 is when I started. So Jenny, 09 was freedom, 10 invasion, 11 build empire, 12 grow wealth, 13 put the puzzle together, 14 buckle up, 15 make history, 16 disruption, 17 gingerbread man playing find me if you can, 18 off the grid, 19 generational wealth, and 2020 will be clear vision, because that's when everybody's going to see what we've been building on this whole time. So yes, it's a constant fight.
I 100% believe it. When you just rattled off all the stuff like you've been preaching it for a while, like you actually had a roadmap. Do you sit down and write it down? Well,
you know what's crazy is I'm constantly writing down my goals because I'm writing records. So in my records, I set goals. And the good thing is that once a record goes, it's basically like your goal is now out there in the universe and everybody's helping you on that goal. And that's why I get a chance to show people. I'm like, listen, yes, they're party records. You're having fun. You're enjoying, but there's messages in here, you know. And that's when you go from either hearing a record to really listening to the record, and then you start to connect the dots.
I love hearing it. We always talk about manifestation. You can always create your destiny.
Oh, it's the truth.
You have to take action towards it. You can't just dream it.
You got to envision it. You got to focus. You got to believe in it, and you got to get used to the word no. The word no becomes yes.
Is that how you've been able to successfully reinvent yourself? Would you put the blame towards that? Yeah.
Always, always, always. I never looked at anything. I looked at, well, there's a slogan that I live by, which is there's no losing, only learning. No failure, only opportunities, and no problems, only solutions. So when you look at life like that, anything that's put in your way, you look at it like, okay, this happened for a reason, for me to figure out another way to go.
Exactly.
Bottom line. And then you believe in yourself, and you create things out of nothing, you know, from nothing to something.
Yep. It's so true. I was teaching my son about dating, about a girl. He's like, what if she says no? I go, if a girl says no, it's not a dead end. It means you're supposed to go that way. It's just a directional sign to go somewhere else. That's right. I go, that means the dream is somewhere else, you know? So when you've had those no's, give me your low point, because you sound like you've got high point.
I mean, it's funny because I got a book that's going to be coming out in 2018. It's called From Negative to Positive. And for me, I've never really looked at anything as a low point, because I say it in the record, Time of Our Lives with Neo, which Neo's been an amazing part of the career also. Big shout out to him. Thank you always, Neo. I appreciate you. Is every day above ground is a great day. So when you look at it that way, there's nothing that can be possibly your low point. I've grown up around a lot of interesting characters and interesting situations, and
your parents have gone through hell.
Man, you know, I grew up in Miami in the 80s. It's the cocaine capital. I've seen a whole lot of it. But what was funny is now I'm involved in speaking engagements with Tony Robbins, Susie Orman, Magic Johnson, Sylvester Stallone. And what an honor to be on that stage. Let's just say and have these conversations. But they asked me, so what was your first time that you understood entrepreneurship? And I didn't know this in the time, but the first time I seen entrepreneurship is when I seen people selling cocaine in Miami. I seen people go from nothing to something, literally, and quickly. And then you understood, which gave me that discipline to be able to be around crazy parts in the world and not lose my mind as much as I could. Because I go, okay, wait a second. There's a person that understood the opportunity. There's a person that didn't. And majority of them didn't. The real smart ones did.
That's a perfect example. You had something to compare it to. I get that.
Yes.
100% something to compare it to.
Yes.
I could talk to you forever. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. I appreciate it.
The positive, music, the positive career.
Thank you.
I think you're such a great influence on everyone. Pitbull's Greatest Hits featuring the new single Jungle. It's out now. Can't wait for your book. You better come back.
Thank you, Jenny. I really appreciate it. Congratulations with everything. You have a great day. God bless. Happy holidays, and big shout out to your husband.
I will. He sends his love too. God bless you too.
Guy Sola and Brian Scalabrine.
What's going on, folks?
Good.
What's up? How you doing? I want to start off the morning by saying I really apologize I didn't make it on time. Unfortunately, I'm in this Big Apple traffic, And I
we
happened
know
to wake
about
up
that.
today, which is to be honest with you, never happened. So for some reason, I didn't make it on time today.
We understand.
But I
Now,
apologize about that, guys. My bad.
that's okay. Now, listen, in some point, it was either September or early October, we were in Washington meeting up with the Washington Wizards. We're an NBA radio show, so we do all NBA.
Yeah.
And as we're interviewing the Washington Wizards, they had finished practice, and you guys, it was you and Enrique Iglesias, were getting ready for your show. It was a sound check. And afterwards, we walked out. It was probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There were tons of fans out there waiting for you, hoping they thought for a minute that we were you. Unfortunately, we weren't. What is that like when you're on a tour and everywhere you go, it's not like being LeBron James where you go into some arenas and people are going to boo you. Everyone is cheering for you. What is that like on a nightly basis?
Well, I mean, for one, to be able to be on tour with Enrique Iglesias is definitely an honor and an amazing opportunity. I learned a whole lot from Enrique. And basically, we've been on tour now. This will be our 7th year. So for the fans and anytime that they're out there, it just goes to show you, man, hard work pays off, bottom line.
Hey, every time the playoffs start, there's always it feels like there's always one of your songs and one of your videos tied in with some NBA action. When did that start, and how did you know, and how did the people put that together to promote the NBA playoffs or to promote things that you had?
Man, let me tell you that had to happen by default one way or another because, I used to love to play basketball. I grew up, basketball was definitely one of my escapes and an amazing opportunity for me to be able to get me out of, I always say I've never been a troublemaker, but I've always been around some trouble. And basketball was definitely one of those that helped me out a whole lot. So I didn't make it to the NBA. I'm about 1.5 feet short of making it to the NBA, but at least the music made it there. So one way or another, it worked out.
So what's your big, obviously you a Miami Heat fan, and if so, what do you think about what's happened to Dwayne Wade over the past couple of years, leaving Miami, going home to Chicago, and now playing again with LeBron in Cleveland?
I mean, as far as that, it was a beautiful thing to see what happened in Miami as far as what they created down there, which was a dynasty. I love to see, me being a Miami boy, I've only seen, how should I say, teams get rebuilt over and over again. So I love to see the rebuild process of what's going on with the Miami Heat right now. I've seen it happen with the Marlins. I've seen it happen with the Hurricanes. And I'm still waiting to see it happen with the Dolphins. As far as that was what's going on with Wade, for him, I think it's great for him, man. It's his way of, I would say, enjoying the NBA for the last couple of years of his career. Everybody puts their body through intense training for so many years. I guess it's his way of finally going, you know what, I'm really just going to enjoy this journey. And what better for him to end up with LeBron James, which is, I would say, probably either one of his best teammates or one of his best friends. So it's working out for him, I would say.
I read that you had a show in Vegas and you're out on tour and you might go back to Vegas, or you are going back to Vegas.
Sir.
Do you prefer one or over the other, or you like doing both?
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, touring is great. For us, touring is basically, I call it like a business card. You go out there and just show people what you got going on, and also with businesses and the whole nine. As far as being in Vegas, that to me is an honor, and you're on an iconic strip where you share a stage or share a strip with people such as Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and the list goes on. And the stage that I share is with, Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, Jennifer Lopez. So I love to be in Vegas because I learn a whole lot. And what better than to just be able to hit the stage, go back to your room, and then hit the stage again. And then, you know what they say in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So being in Miami,
good call.
What happens in Miami never happened.
Now, and you've worked very hard to get where you are, and, some of the perks of the job. Pitbull is going to have his second annual Pitbull cruise, which sets sail from Miami and continues on to the Bahamas. It's March 3rd through the 5th, 2018. Is this just a guys-only thing, or there'll be women on this cruise?
Oh, come on, Frank.
Now that was a good joke, but
I mean, come on, how much? That's got to be a lot of fun. That cruise.
The more woman to men ratio. That's definitely part of my mathematical equation.
We got to do the show from there, Brian. Forget about going to London. March 3rd and 5th.
How do we get on that cruise?
Yeah, I agree. I think you guys should get on that cruise. And you know, the beautiful thing is the cruise ended up in international waters. International waters that means we'll have a whole lot of fun.
What do they say about international waters? What happens out there? What? It never happened either?
Literally.
Pitbull, your greatest hits album is coming out today. Congratulations on all the success you've had.
That.
Well, what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite song that you like to sing at all your shows?
My favorite song to perform all around the world is "Give Me Everything," featuring Neil, and always a big thank you to Neil. But the reason that I love performing that record is because the way I started the record is basically talking about how I took my life from a negative to a positive, and I love people to not only to enjoy it, have fun, and dance to that record, but that's literally my life, taking something from or making something from nothing. And that's why I love to perform that record.
How'd you get the nickname Pitbull?
Pitbull came, I was actually on the way to a Pitbull fight down in Miami with a Dominican friend of mine, and he happened to turn to me and go, you know what, that should be your name. And that's basically how it came about. And when the more I studied the dog and the breed, it made all the sense in the world, because Pitbulls are here to fight to the death. They're too stupid to lose. They don't understand that word. And that's the way I look at life. That's the way I look at the career. And that's the way I look at everything, to be honest with you. So it makes all the sense in the world.
Well, listen, you bring a lot of joy into people's lives. People love your music. You're a great entertainer. We know you've had a great relationship with the NBA as well. We appreciate the time, and good luck with the album, okay?
Oh, yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. Once again, I apologize for being late and not making it, man. And I'm going to come check y'all out.
Wait, one more thing. One more thing.
Yeah.
You're going to be at All-Star Weekend in L.A.?
We're actually trying to work that out right now as we speak.
All right. If you got those one of those parties, I'll hit you up. One of those Pitbull mathematical equation parties, I'd be interested in those.
Hey, sounds like fun. Get ready, but just make sure you come well prepared. Now you gotta be ready for those kind of things.
All right. I'll be well rested.
All right. Thanks a lot, Pitbull.
I really appreciate it, guys. You guys have a great day, and once again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck with everything. All right. That, of course, was the great Pitbull.